Okay, good morning students. In our last three classes, these has to divide with the Avogadro's number. Then we will find out the number of moles. The third one is that is applicable for the gases, that is volume of the gas at the STP divided by molar volume. And we practice a lot of question on this one. Now the next topic, that is concentration terms. Concentration terms for the solution. So dear student, as we are talking about the binary solution, in binary solution, how many components are there? There are two components. One is solute, another is solvent. Generally, when I am writing somewhere 1, this means solvent. If I am writing 2, this means solute. So let us start about the concentration term, and which concentration term we will going to be discussed here. That is, here is concentration terms. Okay, and for the binary solution, which concentration term we will discuss here? Number 1 is mole fraction. This is number 1 is mole fraction. Number 2, we will discuss about that is molality. Molarity is represented by small m. And third one, that will discuss about the molarity. And the molarity of solution is represented by capital M. And fourth one, that is normality. That is normality. And normality of the solution is represented by capital N. These only concentration term we will discuss here. So dear student, first of all, I am telling you about the binary solution. And I think everyone knows about the binary solution. How many components are there? There are the two components. One is solute, and this solute we will write with 2. And then solvent. The second one is solvent, and this solvent is written with 1. So dear student, first of all, I am talking about here about the mole fraction. So for the solution, here the two component I told you. One is solute, another is solvent. Here is I am writing for which one? That is mole fraction of solute. Mole fraction of solute, that is represented by chi2, and that is equal to number of moles of 2 divided by total moles of the solution. And for the binary solution, it will be number of moles of solvent and number of moles of solute. Am I clear or not? My dear student, this is mole fraction of a solute. Whenever I am writing 2, this means I am talking about solute. Whenever we are writing here 1, this means we are talking about the solvent. Now for example, I am quoting here, for example, one question is there. If here is 80 gram of sodium hydroxide, this is 80 gram of sodium hydroxide is dissolved, that is dissolved in 108 gram of water. 108 gram of water. What will be the mole fraction of a solute and solvent? Here is, that is, what will be mole fraction of sodium hydroxide, NaOH. This is solute here. So dear student, number of moles. Here is number of moles of NaOH. Please tell me how to calculate. What is the mass of sodium hydroxide? 80. And what is the molar mass of sodium hydroxide? That is 40. So number of moles. How many number of moles are there? Number of moles is 2. That is number of moles of sodium hydroxide. Now number of moles of water. Amount of water is 108 divided by 18, and this is equal to 6. So dear student, Now we have to find out mole fraction. Rather, you will find out mole fraction of solute. Solute is which one? That is NaOH. So dear student, that is number of moles of solute, that is 2, and number of moles of solution, that is equal to what? Here is 2 plus 6. So that is 2 upon 8, 1 upon 4, that is mole fraction of sodium hydroxide. Mole fraction of sodium hydroxide is 0.25. So please respond. Is it clear or not? What I am telling you? Dear student, good morning. NS, good morning. Surendra, good morning. Rest student, good morning to all of you. Please respond. Is it clear for the mole fraction? I am taking here binary solution. Binary solution means it contains two components. And for the binary solution, I am moving for binary solution. If we are talking about which one? That is mole fraction. Mole fraction of a solution. I am writing here mole fraction of solution is always unity. Always unity. Unity means 1. So for the binary solution, this means mole fraction of solute and plus mole fraction of solvent, that is equal to 1. As in the given example, above example, here I am writing mole fraction of NaOH and plus mole fraction of water, that is equal to what? That is equal to 1. So if we calculated mole fraction, here is mole fraction of sodium hydroxide. Mole fraction of sodium hydroxide is what? That is 0.25. So what will be mole fraction of water in this case? Mole fraction of water will be 1 minus 0.25. That is equal to what? 0.75. So please student, okay, mole fraction of solute will be always 1. Here in the same way, I am writing, if we have to be calculate, that is mole fraction of solvent. So please be attentive and respond in the chat box. Mole fraction of the solvent, that is chi1, and this chi1 is equal to what? Number of moles of solvent divided by number of moles of solvent plus number of moles of solute. You got it or not? And I told you, my dear student, this is the mole fraction of which one? Solvent. Now the mole fraction of the solution, we calculated one example, we solved one example. Here is for x1 and plus of x2 for the binary solution, that is equal to 1. Please respond, is that clear or not? So dear student, for the binary solution, if mole fraction of the one component is given to us, then x1 we can calculate 1 minus x2, and this x2 or chi2 we can calculate from 1 minus x1. So for the binary solution, if mole fraction of the one component is provided to us, we can find out mole fraction of another component. Is that clear? Dear student, if a solution containing more than the two component, I am taking here solution containing I component. If we have a solution containing, that is containing I component, solution containing I component. In this case, mole fraction of the solution is always unity. So what will we have? Here is chi1 plus chi2 plus chi3, and that is equal to, and chi I up to I component, that is equal to what? That is equal to 1. So please respond, is that clear or not? that is sum of mole fraction of all the component, that will be 1. So dear student, now if we have mole fraction of the two component, if I divide like this one, here is mole fraction of component 1 divided by mole fraction of component 2 is equal to what? Number of moles of component 1 and number of moles of component 2. Please confirm this. Is it clear or not? Dear, and if we have, here is mole fraction of component 2 divided by mole fraction of the component 3 is equal to what? Is equal to number of moles of component 2 divided by number of moles of component 3. Am I clear or not? So dear student, is that clear or has to explain this one? I think this is very simple. Mole fraction is number of moles upon total mole. Mole fraction of 2 is number of moles upon total mole. Total mole will cancel by the total mole. So I can say that the ratio of mole fraction of the two components will be equal to the ratio of their number of moles. So my dear friend, Anna is responding. Padma is also responding. So dear friend, now this is about which one? Mole fraction. Now the second term that we'll discuss, that is also important, here is molality. Second term we are discussing about which one? Molality. And dear student, molality of the solution is represented by small m, and basically this molality is equal to what? That is N2. Okay, let me ask you, what this N2 is? 2 stands for, I am waiting for your answer. 2 stands for solute, number of moles of solute. N2, number of moles of solute, divided by m, small m, mass, mass of solvent. Mass of solvent in which one? In kilogram. Please, first of all, tell me about the definition of the molality. Is it clear or not? I am telling you that is number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kilogram. And what will be its unit? Its unit will be mole per kg, or simply written as small m. But you should know the difference. Here this small m represent the mass of solvent and this is molality. So do not get confused on this one. So I am writing this one in the simple way. Here is molality can be calculated. How? Number of moles. Here is mass of solute. Mass of solute in grams upon molar mass of solute into mass of solvent in grams, that has to multiply with 1000. So please confirm, is it clear with the symbol or not? Dear student, don't worry, I will write for each end. This M stand for which one? That is molality. This is molality. Molality is equal to what? I am writing completely. Mass of 2 in grams. But it should be clear to you. 2 stands for which one? Solute. Divided by molar mass. Here is molar mass. And molar mass of which one? Definitely of solute. Mass upon molar mass. That is number of moles. Now here is mass of solvent 1. If it is in the grams, mass of solvent, 1 stand for solvent in grams, then has to be multiplied with which one? 1000. I think this is not difficult. Repeat, sir. Okay. Let me annoy. Here is molality. Molality is number of moles of solute. And do you know number of moles of solute? How we can calculate the number of moles of solute? Mass upon molar mass. And this is mass of solvent. 1 stand for solvent. mass of solvent in kilogram. But if it is in the grams, then we have to convert this into the kilograms. So, Padma, is it clear or not? Anvay, is it clear or not? Otherwise, don't worry, I will write once again definition. This is molality. Number of moles, let me write here in words also. Here is, what is there? Number of moles of solute. Number of moles of solute dissolved. That is dissolved per kg. Per kg means per 1000 gram. That is 1000 gram of solvent. Please confirm me. Yes or no? Number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kg. Okay. So, Padma, Anvay responded. So, please, let me write a question. Then it will be more clear for you. I am writing here. For example, that is, if write the question with me, I am taking here 40 gram of NaOH, sodium hydroxide, is dissolved in 250 gram of water. Calculate the molality of solution. Calculate molality of solution. My dear student, is it clear or not? If I solve in parts, first of all, number of moles of NaOH, help me. Mass is 40. Molar mass is 40. How many moles? 1 mole. Now the definition of molality. Don't worry, if it is not clear, you can ask again and again. Because priority is to be clear you. This molality is dear what? How many number of moles? 1 mole of sodium hydroxide. And tell me, what about the mass of water? That is 250. Is it in kilogram or grams? Very nice. This is in grams. So, we have to convert this into the kilogram, or we will remain as it is? We have to be convert into kilograms. So, what is the molality? That is 4 mole per kg. Confirm me, or that can be written as 4 mole. I am sorry, 4m, small m. 4 molal. Is that clear? Don't worry, I will take one more example, but you have to solve. Here is question number 2 or 3. If 4.9 gram of H2SO4 sulfuric acid is dissolved, that is dissolved in 200 grams of water, calculate molality. We have to calculate molality. So, solve with me. Number of moles of sulfuric acid, that is number of moles of H2SO4, is equal to given mass 4.9. I forgotten its molar mass. Please help me. What will be molar mass of sulfuric acid? At least one student write. That is, I am waiting. That is 98. Means 1 upon 20. 1 upon 20 is what? I am writing like 1 by 20 or 0.05. Confirm yes or no? These are what? Yes, Anvay responded. So dear, now we calculated number of moles. Now what we have to be calculate? I am writing here molality. Molality, please help me. Number of moles. How many number of moles are there? 0.005. Is that clear? Now divided by, here is what? 200. 200 is in grams or kilograms? That is, no need to be write the gram, but I am writing here that you can keep your mind. This is in grams. So has to multiply with which one? Has to multiply with 1000. So dear, it is what? So dear, that is equal to 0.25 mole per kg. Am I clear or not? Okay, very nice. So is that clear about the molality? Molality is number of moles of solute dissolved in per kg of the solvent. And here one of the importance of this molality that it does not change, varies with temperature. That is effect of temperature. Effect of temperature. In molality, only mass terms are involved. I am writing here what I written for the molality. Molarity is what? Number of moles. Number of moles means mass of solute. Molar mass of solute into mass of solvent in kg. So only which term are used in the molality? In molality, only mass terms are used. That is, mass are used. So does the mass changes with temperature? Yes, Anna is responding. Mass, since mass does not change with temperature, it does not change with temperature. With temperature. So if mass does not change with temperature, do the molality will change with temperature? So molality does not change with temperature. Does not change with temperature. With temperature. Please confirm. Is that clear or not? This is the most suitable method for expressing the concentration of the solution because it does not change with temperature. Am I clear? When it is compared with the other concentration term, so it is suitable because it does not change with temperature. Now dear, now here is, this is also very important. Try to understand that one. Here is relation. A relation between molality. Molality is what? Small m. And the mole fraction of solute. And mole fraction of solute. Is it visible to you? Mole fraction of solute is represented by chi2. So I am writing here formula, then I am explaining that formula. Don't worry. So sometime we have the mole fraction of the solute and we have to be calculate its molality. So dear student, this molality, small m means molality. Molality is equal to what? It is equal to chi2. Chi2 is what? that is mole fraction of solute. 1000, here is chi1 and m1. So, whatever these representation are, I am writing here. This chi2 is what? Please help me. That is mole fraction of solute. Confirm. What about the chi1? Please tell me. Chi1 is, that is mole fraction of solvent. And what about this M1? Capital M. Capital M represent for which? Capital M represents for which? Molar mass. Molar mass, M stand for what? This is solvent. Here is what? Here is molar mass of which one? Molar mass of solvent. Are you understanding or not? Now your question is that from where this formula comes? My dear friend, this is nothing but this is a definition of the molality. I will explain you. Don't worry. If you are listening properly, then I am writing here definition of molality. That is equal to number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent. If the mass of solvent in grams, then we have to convert this into what? Kilograms. Confirm? Is it clear? Just I written the definition of molality. This molality is equal to number of moles divided by mass of solvent in grams. Now dear friend, do you know this mass? I am writing here. Mass of solvent is what? Number of moles of solvent into molar mass of solvent. Please confirm. Mass of solvent is number of moles into molar mass. So in the place of this one, I am writing here. Here is N2 divided by N1 into molar mass of solvent into 1000. Dear, we just placed mass in the term of number of moles into molar mass. Please confirm. Is that clear? So, only one student is responding. Okay, so rest please. If it is not clear, then you may ask. I will repeat. Okay. So, dear student, I am telling you this is a definition of molality. Number of moles upon mass of the solvent in grams has to convert into kilograms. Just I written this mass in the term of number of moles and molar mass. Now dear student, I told you a ratio of number of moles and ratio of their mole fraction is same. So here is x2 into what? Into 1000 upon what? x1 into m1. This is molality or not? Please confirm me yes or no. Important one, that's why I am taking some time to explain this one. Otherwise, it's not always easy to remember the formulas. If you know the concept behind that, then I think it will be easy to remember that one. It is nothing but the definition of molality. Is that clear? So, Anvay and Vijay Lakshmi is only responding. Molality is equal to, means we can calculate the molality from the mole fraction. So, my dear friend, now I am writing here question to understand this formula. Here is question number 4. Calculate the this is molality of aqueous solution. Here is aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means solvent is water. Aqueous solution of NaOH if mole fraction, if the mole fraction of NaOH, that is NaOH, is 0.2. First of all, tell me, is that clear or not? My dear student, I am writing here once again definition of molality. This is molality. Molality is equal to what? X2 into what? Into 1000. And here is, this one is X1 into which one? M1. So write everything now. X2 is what? 0.2 into what? 1000. And what about X1? 1 minus X2. Please confirm. Dear, we know that X1 plus X2 is always 1. So if we have X2, we can find out X1. X1 is 1 minus 0.2. That is equal to what? 0.8. Is that clear or not? So here is 0.8 into, which one is the solvent here? Please tell me, which one is the solvent? So, dear student, please in the chat box, you talk only about the chemistry. It is requested. So, dear student, here I am talking. Molar mass of the solvent is what? 18. Solvent in this particular case is what? That is aqueous solution means which one the solvent? Water. And the molar mass of water is what? 18. So dear, this is 1 upon 4. And this calculation you know very well. This is 55.55. So divided by 4, it will come out 13.88. 13.88 molar. You can write molar, you can write small m. Is that clear or not? Okay, Vijay Lakshmi calculated this one. So is it clear about the molality? Molality is what? That is the number of moles of solute dissolved in per kilogram of solvent. So if it is clear, and this formula is also very important. Okay. So my dear student, now the third term that we'll discuss about is which one? That is very, very important rather. Third term we will discuss, that is, you will write. Third term we will discuss about the molarity. Yes, we will discuss about the molarity. Here is molarity, and molarity is what? Capital M. This molarity is capital M. I am writing its definition. The simplest definition of the molarity is what? N2. Okay, I will ask you what this N2 is. You write. You show your participation. N2 is what? At least one or two students write, then I will move forward. N2 what? 2 stand for number of moles of solute. Yes, number of moles of solute. Here volume of solution. V stand for volume of solution in liters. So dear, its unit is what? That is mole per liter. Mole per liter, or simply capital M. Teja, to whom you are talking? Please think only about the chemistry. Here is number of moles of solute is equal to what? Molarity into volume of solution in which one? Liters. So if we have to be calculate, don't worry, I will move the definition of the molarity, but let me ask you one question. Or first of all, let me change this molarity into volume. Volume of the solution, if it is in milliliter, then has to divide with which one? Has to divide with 1000. I am just writing the definition of a molarity. So from molarity we can calculate number of moles. Here is a question. Question is what? Calculate, that is calculate number of moles and mass of H2SO4 in 200 ml of 1 molar or 2 molar H2SO4 solution. That is H2SO4 solution. First of all, tell me, you got the question or not? Okay. Dear student, I told you number of moles of solute is what? That is molarity into volume. Volume is if it in milliliter, then has to divide with which one? 1000. So what is the molarity? Molarity is equal to 2. What is the volume? Volume is equal to 200 in milliliter. So we have to be divide with 1000. That is equal to 0.2 is cancelled, 0.4 mole. You got it or not? Please tell me. Number of moles we calculated, but we have to calculate mass also. Not only the number of moles. So mass of sulfuric acid. What is mass of sulfuric acid? Please tell me how to calculate mass. Mass is equal to number of moles into what? Molar mass. So what are the number of moles we calculated here? That is 0.4. And what is mass of this sulfuric acid is? Molar mass of sulfuric acid is 98. Is that clear, boys? Okay. So dear student, just we are talking about which one? Definition of molarity. Here I am writing definition of molarity. Molarity, what I told you, that is number of moles of solute divided by, please tell me, volume of solution. Volume of solution in which one? Liters. Now we are extending this one. Number of moles of solute. How to calculate the number of moles of solute? That is mass of solute upon molar mass of solute. Small m represent for mass, mass in grams. And here is volume of solution. If it is in milliliter, then we have to be multiply with 1000. So dear student, please tell me, is it clear or not? Just the definition of molarity. Here I am writing, if 4.9 gram of sulfuric acid is dissolved in, if this is dissolved in 250 ml of solution, calculate molarity of the solution. We have to calculate molarity of solution. So dear student, here is molarity. You will help me. What is mass of? That is 4.9. And what about the molar mass? Molar mass is, here is 98. What is volume of solution? Please tell me. That is 250. And here is what? Has to multiply with 1000. So this is 4. And here is 20, I think. 1 upon 5. 1 upon 5 is equal to what? 0.2. Please tell me. 0.2 is what? Molar, capital M. Here is molarity is equal to. This molarity is equal to 0.2 mole per liter. This can be written as 0.2 molar. You got it or not? Is that clear? So, dear student, now here is only one equation that I will discuss with you. Or first of all, tell me about the dilution of solution. Dilution. Will anyone will tell me about the dilution? What is dilution? Dilution stands for which? Anyone will respond? Anyone will respond? Dilution is addition of solvent to the solution. Addition of solvent in the solution. In the solution. Confirm this point. Is it clear or not? If we are adding extra amount of the solvent in the given solution, that is called a dilution. Very good. Someone responded. Now, dear student, let me ask you. Here is 100 ml of the solution. HCl, sodium hydroxide. This is 100 ml. And let 2 mole of NaOH is present in this one. Are you understanding the question? What I am telling you, I am taking here 100 ml of the solution which contain 2 mole of sodium hydroxide. If I add more amount, 100 ml of more water in this one, ml of water, it will become 200. Is that clear or not? Now, question is that volume of the solution is increasing. Does the number of mole sorry, I'm really sorry. Number of moles of NaOH will change? Please tell me, anyone. I'm adding only water in this. But the number of moles of sodium hydroxide, that will remain? Please tell me, that will remain same or it will change? We are not adding sodium hydroxide. Number of moles of sodium hydroxide will remain same. It will be how many moles? 0.2. Got it, students? So, dear student, after the dilution, number of moles of solute will remain same. This is the condition before dilution. Number of moles of NaOH before dilution and after dilution. Number of moles of NaOH will remain same. Is that clear or not? So, dear friend, here is number of moles of NaOH. How we will calculate? That is M1, V1. 1 stand for before dilution. This is before dilution. And that is equal to. Is that clear or not? What I am saying here, number of moles. How we can calculate? Molarity into volume. This is before and after. M2, V2. That is what? That is after. So, just respond for this one. Is that clear or not? After dilution, number of moles of the particular solute will remain same. And number of moles of solute we find out from the molarity into volume. So number of moles of solute before dilution and after dilution, that will remain same. So I will say that M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. Got it, students, or not? So we will discuss some question based on this equation but tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much everyone, and so say bye once. Okay, thank you very much.
Hello. Good morning, all of you. Hello, guys. Please reply. Anoy, good morning. Please reply, everyone. Are you listening me? Okay. Now, yesterday I have just introduced the power. I told you very first type of problem. In that problem, we are solving only f dot v problem. Okay, how to solve the numerical based upon it, or some conceptual question also in the f dot v. How the questions is asked and how we can deal with them. So I have given a few examples based upon them. Now we will see the three types, different type of problem that is generally asked in the NEET examination. So try to understand on those. Okay, so I'm starting. The f dot v problem is now completed. I'm giving another type of problem that is I call actually car problem. What I call car problem. It is very important. The 2 times already in a PYQ, 3 times actually. It's asked in a NEET, you will see it, and this is one of the finest question I found. And there's another type of problem we will deal today, that the Hodge pipe problem. That is also one of the important problem, and there are 2 very small problems, and we call this a hydropower plant problem, and one more power. One is another is we call the pipe problem. So we will see there are 4 5 type of problem today we will learn, and those type of problem generally asked in a NEET. You will find almost every question you can solve in a PYQ and the coming NEET exam also. So try to learn what the concept today I will give you. related to the power, and whatever the example, those are actually giving you concept, different type of concept, how to deal with the different type of question, problems in the examination. So try to focus. Okay, I am starting from the question. You will understand. The very first is the car problem. Try to listen. Okay, this is a car problem. Just give me 1 second. When we take the car problem, so we have to understand the language of this question. The question is very simple. If a car of mass m is accelerated from rest by delivering a constant power P naught, constant power P naught, then find the or calculate the very few things. I am just writing it. First thing we want to calculate instantaneous kinetic energy. Calculate its instantaneous kinetic energy. The second is the instantaneous speed. Third, instantaneous acceleration. Then instantaneous force. Next, I'm writing it, instantaneous position of the particle or position of the car. These are few questions. You will find that this question is already asked in 2015 if I am correct. You can check in the PYQ. Maybe year may be wrong, but it is also PYQ. And 2012, and it was also PYQ. I don't remember the year actually. So it is also PYQ. So out of this 5 part, 3 part already asked in a question, this paper PYQ, and 2 part I am just adding so that you can understand. Okay, they can also ask in the coming years. So try to learn it. Okay. So now we are going to focus. Now you understood the question. Please reply. You are understanding or not, beta? Dinesh, Anoy, Jodhri, please reply. Okay, Padma, you are understanding the question? What is the question is asked to you? Okay, good. Now the question is clear. Now we have to focus on the question, how to deal with it and how to solve this question. We have to understand. Now listen carefully. The power is given. In the previous class, I told you the power is nothing that is equal to dW over dt or dk over dt. K means kinetic energy over dt. We are writing. We know this very basic definition. In the previous class, I told you. Now using this definition, I can solve. So what I am going to solve? The very first part I am going to solve. What is this given to you? Power. Power is given to you, that is the P naught, because power given in the question is a constant. Its value is constant. Its value is constant. That means P naught remain constant. That is not going to vary. We have to understand this. P naught is going to constant, and you will say P naught is equal to d of kinetic energy over dt. That means from here you can say d of kinetic energy is equal to P naught into dt. Now we have to put the integration. We have to put the integration. You will understand. Now very basic thing, don't worry about it. Very simple integration or differentiation will be used in this type of questions. So try to learn. Okay. So kinetic energy and this is the power. We are integrating both sides. So when we are putting the left side integration, so what are the limit we have to put? So initially given in the question, this car is started from rest. Start from or accelerate from rest. If accelerate from rest, that means what is happening here? Initial velocity is 0. Initial velocity 0, that means initial kinetic energy also 0. Initial kinetic energy 0, initial speed is 0. We have to understand this. Okay, so initial kinetic energy 0, that means we will put the limit 0, and time is also 0. So after some time, this time t I am taking, and the kinetic energy would be Ke. Now integrate it. So this side would be kinetic energy from 0 to Ke, and right hand side P naught is constant, and the integration of dt would be t and limit 0 to t. So from here you can say directly kinetic energy minus 0, and that is equal to P naught into t. That means kinetic energy at any instant of time, you can write P naught into t. This is known as instantaneous kinetic energy, because as the time will vary, it will be vary. Understanding? Please answer it. Up to here, your basic question, basic part, first part I have written. Up to here, you are understanding or not? Please reply so that we can move to the other parts. Please reply, everyone. Good. You are understanding. I am happy with that. Now we can continue this result, and we are using this result in the coming parts. We will solve it, how to use it. Okay. So kinetic energy is equal to P naught into T. I am moving to the next slide. You will understand. Try to listen. So I am using directly this kinetic energy is equal to P naught into T. Now I am going to solve the second part. Instantaneous speed we have to calculate. What is the meaning of instantaneous speed? So we know kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. At any instant of time I can write like this, and that is equal to P naught into T. So from here you can write that v square is equal to 2 P naught by m into T, or v is equal to under root of 2 P naught by m into T to the power half. I can write like this, and this is the question of 2012. 2012, this question is asked in a PYQ. Now tell me, you are understanding this result, how to solve it or not? Please reply, beta. Everyone, please reply. Good. Padma, Jodhri, Dinesh. Good. Now you are understanding how to solve this question. Okay. Now this is the velocity or speed we have calculated. Now using this we can find the acceleration also. Now come to the third part, that is equal to acceleration. What is the meaning of acceleration? We have to understand. We know the acceleration is equal to dv over dt. That means we have to differentiate it. We have to differentiate this part. So you will say the differentiation, this part is already constant, the bracket I have put this in. So you will put the differentiation. This is a constant 2 P naught by m. This is a constant. And what is the differentiation? T to the power half. So you will write 1 by 2 T to the power minus half. This is the differentiation. Because differentiation we put minus 1. So 1 by 2 minus 1, that would be T to the power minus 1 by 2. That means I can write in one more line. This is 2. This is under root 2. So in the next line I can say P naught by 2m into T to the power minus half. That can be written here. That is also important part. You can calculate it. Understood, beta? Please reply. Up to here you are understanding? Please reply it. Everyone be active in the chat. You are very new generation guys. You all are very active in the chats. Okay, it may be a YouTube chat or it may be a WhatsApp, Instagram, everywhere. You are very fluent in that, very active in that. Please be active in the class also. When you are active, definitely you will learn more and more. Okay, so try to focus on that. Now we have to understand one few more things. We have to calculate force also. We are going to calculate force. You will learn from this part how to calculate the force. The force is nothing else. We know F is equal to m into A. So m we already know and A we have already calculated. Put the value, you will get it. That means this is the under root of P naught by 2m okay, into t to the power minus half. Okay, minus half, I'm writing again, you will understand. This is a minus half. Okay, this is a very simple value. Now from it, just solve it little bit. You will understood. F is equal to, this is the under root m, this is m, that means under root, we can say m into p naught by 2 and t to the power minus half. That is the 2015 question. You can find it in the PYQ. Understanding, beta? Kinney? Understanding? Josri? Anoy? Dinesh? Other people also take part in the chats. You will understand. Okay, this is a very simple thing you are understanding. I will give you the one last part of this whole calculation, that is the displacement or position of the particle at any instant of time. We have to understand. Okay, now listen. What is given to you? Velocity is given to you. Using this velocity, we have to find the position. So for that, we already know velocity is nothing else dx over dt. That means from here I can say dx is equal to v into dt. Now we have to put the integration. So for that, we have to put integration, put the values. You will say dx into va. V is how much, beta? Under root of 2 p naught by m t to the power half into dt. Now put the integration both sides. This is 0 to x, because initially we assume where the particle start, initial position is 0. I am assuming it. And this time is 0 and this time is t. Listen carefully. If it is in the question, it is not given it is 0. Start from 0. Suppose it is start from 10 meter or 20 meter or 50 meter or 100 meter or minus 10. Whatever value is given, put here. Okay. In this question, it is not given, so I am assuming it is the origin. It's a very normal thing, we can assume it. So from here you can say x from 0 to x. Here, because this whole part is constant under root, I am writing like this, 2 p naught by m, and t to the power half integration would be how much, beta? T to the power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2. That means this would be 3, this would be 2. You can put limit 0 to t. It's a very simple. Now solve little bit. You will say this is the x minus 0, sir, and that would be under root. This is 2, this is also 2. Outside 2, that means when it enter into the under root, it would be 4. So 4 into 2, this would be 8 p naught. This is 3. When it enter into the under root, it would be 9. So divide by 9 into m. And this would be t to the power 3 by 2 minus 0. We can write, or very next line I can write it. This would be like this. X is equal to under root of 8 p naught by 9m and t to the power 3 by 2. And please answer, everyone. You understood this problem or not? This is a very important problem. There are 3 questions in PYQ you can find from this problem only. So this is one of the finest problems related to the power. Please answer you are understanding or not understanding. Okay. Okay, beta. Definitely I can explain. I am explaining, don't worry about it. Up to here you understood. This is the integration part. So after integration you will find that this is equal to t to the power 3 by 2. When integration we put plus 1. So this is a very simple dx by dt. So we are putting dx and this is dt. So this is the constant part. 2 p naught is constant, 2 is constant, m is constant. I am not doing anything with this part. So I am taking directly here. And t to the power half. What is the integration of t to the power half? I am writing here. You will understand. I am using different color. Suppose this is the integration of t to the power half dt. What is the way to calculate? Integrate it. You will say t to the power half plus 1 divided by plus 1 by 2 plus 1. This is the way to calculate integration. So from it you will say t to the power, this become 3 by 2. This become also 3 by 2, or we can say 2 by 3 of t to the power 3 by 2. Understanding? And remember one thing, 2 is equal to under root of 4. Similarly, if I say 3 is equal to under root of 9, that means 2 by 3 can be also written as under root of 4 by 9. Both are equal. Okay, now please reply. You are understanding what I have written or not? Everyone, please reply it. Understood this question? Okay, good. So you are understanding. This question is we have solved, but I am putting one more thing related to this question. If this is not asked in the form of numerical, if it is asked in the form of graphs, we have to understand those also. So we know all the result. Without result, we cannot draw any graph. But if we know the result, now we can draw the graph. So okay, so I'm going back to the original slide. You will see from this. Sorry, this is the original slide. This is the kinetic energy. From this question, we have started this question. You will see it. So this is the kinetic energy. If I want to draw the graph of kinetic energy versus time, so how it will look? So from here you can see directly kinetic energy directly proportional to t. That means this is a straight line passing through origin. It is a straight line passing through origin. Now we are going to draw it. You will understand. This is the kinetic energy versus time graph. This is a straight line passing through origin. Okay. If I want to ask you what is the slope, you can tell the slope also here. The slope is equal to P naught because the slope is equal to P naught. Slope is equal to P naught. Got it? Please reply. You understood kinetic energy versus time graph. If it is asked in the paper, if power is constant, this would be graph. Can you draw it? Please reply. Good. And now, Padma, Zohri, Srinivas, Rao. Good. Very good. You are understanding? Now we are moving to the next slide, and we will solve some more questions. This graph also. What is this? Velocity. We want to draw the velocity versus this t. So from here you can see very clearly. I can write this is the velocity. It directly proportional to t to the power half, or v square directly proportional to t. That means this would be parabola. It would be parabola. So I am drawing this graph. You will see it. This is the velocity versus time graph. This would be parabola. Parabola. Very simple. Understanding? There are few bolas is important. First is parabola. Second is the hyperbola. These are two very common graphs you will find in your syllabus. Every year, almost 3, 4 or 5 questions also you can see in the paper related to the graphs. I'm talking about only in the physics. There are some graphs also in chemistry. You will find it. So try to learn the graph. It is very important. It will give you some marks. Okay, so that's why I'm adding it. This is the second graph. The speed, velocity versus time, or speed versus time. I have drawn this graph. Understanding? Now come to the third graph. This is the acceleration versus time. So if I see from it, this means acceleration is directly proportional to t to the power minus half, or acceleration is directly proportional to t to the power half. That means from here you can see one clearly that as time will increase, the acceleration will decrease. Time will increase, the acceleration will decrease. Time will decrease, acceleration will increase. That means this is the hyperbola. I am repeating again. Acceleration is inversely proportional to t to the power half. That means as time is going to increase, what is happening? The acceleration is going to decrease. If time will decrease, the acceleration is going to increase. That means I have to draw, this is the hyperbola, A versus t graph. This would be hyperbola. The graph would be look like this. Understanding? Please reply. Okay, now come to the force graph. Force is also similar, because here also you can see the force is directly proportional to t to the power minus half. Here also acceleration is directly proportional to t to the power minus half. That means graph would be similar graph we can see here. This is the force versus time graph. That would be also hyperbola. It is also hyperbola. Here also you can write this is a hyperbola. Here also you can write this is the hyperbola. Now please reply, you are understanding or not understanding. Everyone, please reply. Okay, then we can move further and we can solve it. Next graph is related to the speed, position graph, position versus time graph. From here you can see directly the x is directly proportional to t to the power 3 by 2. That means it will increase. It will increase, and this also not a straight line. This is a cube root graph. You can see from q directly proportional to t to the power q square directly proportional to tq, like this. That means time will increase, this position also going to increase. So this graph look like this. This is not actually parabola, but look like similar graph. It would be like this. It's the x versus t graph. Understanding? Up to here, everyone is understanding? Please reply. Okay. Now you understood how to solve this question. This type of question, if it is asked in a paper, we can solve it or not. Got it? Please reply. Good. Now I am going to move to the next type of problem that is also very important, and that is also 3-4 times the question is asked in a paper. You can find it, that the Hodge pipe problem. What I call it, Hodge pipe problem. That is also very important problem. Try to listen. Okay. Listen carefully. When we are talking about the Hodge pipe problem, what is the meaning of this? So there is a one pipe is there, the thick pipe is there. Okay, the thick pipe we call Hodge pipe. This is the Hodge pipe is there, and one liquid or maybe water or something is flowing in it. It is having some cross section area, and the liquid flowing in it is having a velocity of v. It is given to you. And the other part can be given in different form, different type of problem I will give you. And the question is that when the liquid is flowing in this pipe is having a constant speed v, then what is the power of a pump is required so that water can flow with the constant speed? Okay, without that it is not possible. The water will flow with a constant speed. There should be some energy is required because there the friction forces are there. We have to understand. Okay, due to that friction force, the liquid velocity will decrease with the time. So with the constant speed, if I talking about, that means it require some power. Okay, so what is that power? We have to find it. Okay, now listen carefully. So this question is given to you. If a liquid is flowing through the Hodge pipe with a constant speed v, find the power required for it. Okay, this is the power required. There are some some questions are asked in different form. I am giving these are different problems, and different type of problem you will see. I am giving, suppose what is given to you, the rate of flow of liquid, is equal to dm by dt is given to you r naught kg per second. If it is given, then how to solve this question? This is the first problem. Second problem comes to you. If it is not given, something is given to you, density of liquid is rho. Only this much is given. Then we have to calculate. How to calculate? We will see. Third type of problem. The rate of flow of liquid equal to dm by dl, not dt. It is not dm by dt. This is dm by dr. That means the mass per unit length is given to you, and that is given to you. Suppose m naught kg per meter. It is given to you. This is the third type of problem I am writing it. We will solve one more, but first we will solve this three type of problem that is related to the hose pipe. Then we will move to the next part. Up to here, the question is clear to you or not? Please reply. Question is clear to everyone? Please reply it. Padma, Dinesh, Anoy, Vaishnavi, Zodri, please reply. Everyone, please reply it. Your understanding or not? Question is clear to everyone? Pavan Kalyan. Okay. That means superstar from Telugu movies also joining my classes. That's a very famous class, huh? Pavan Kalyan is joining class. Okay. Now it's clear. Now try to solve this question. We have to solve. Now try to learn how to solve this question. You will understand. The very first thing. The liquid is flowing through a hose pipe with a constant speed. Speed is constant. The very important thing is given to you. Speed is constant. If speed is constant, we have to find the power. How to calculate the power? Try to learn. Okay. In the offline classes, will you continue or you will revise this thing? Definitely I will revise. I will continue. Not from here. We will start from scratch, from zero, and we will continue the start, not from here. It is not completed. It is just giving the introduction key how we teach. When you join us, definitely you will be benefited in different manners. I cannot giving more and more questions, and I am trying to give the maximum I can give on the online. When you join our offline classes, definitely you will be benefited so much. Okay, try to listen. What I am telling you. The constant speed v is given to us. That's very simple. And rate of flow of liquid is given to you dm by dt. That is the r naught. Now we have to find the power is required. What is required? Power is required. We have to find this. So this is a very basic law. Listen. What is the meaning of power? How to calculate this power? So we have to clear about it. So we know the power when we are writing it. Power is equal to dke over dt. I told you. Okay, then definitely you can say the kinetic energy is equal to, sir, half mv square. Very simple. The kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, and this thing is v is a constant. Half is already constant. V is also constant. M is only varying. M is varying. That means from here you can say I am solving first part. You will see that is equal to half v square into dm over dt. The one of the finest result and the very important result, you have to be clear about it, that is equal to half v square into dm over dt. We can write it. Got it, everyone? Now listen, dm over dt can be written in different form according to the question's requirement. Here in the first part, it is already given dm by dt is equal to r naught. That means no need to solve anything, directly write r naught. That means dm by dt is already given to you, that is equal to r naught. That means power can be written half v square into r naught. This is the result. This is the answer. This is already PYQ. You can find it. I don't remember the actual year right now, but you can check it. Understood up to here, beta? Please reply. Everyone is understanding up to here? Okay. Please reply, everyone. Okay. This is the first part we have solved. Now come to the second part. What is given to you? The density of the liquid is given. Density of liquid is given. Now we have to solve this for dm by dt in different form. Then you will understand. What is the meaning of density? We know the mass is equal to density into volume. Density into volume. Volume can be written as what, beta? Area into length. Area into length, if I write, that is equal to L or X, you can write. I am writing L. This is the A into L. This is the length. Now you will say why you are writing, sir, this L? Because the cross section area is A given to you. This length is, suppose if I am assuming this L up to a certain length. So in a very next line, if I write dm over dt, because we have to replace this term dm over dt, we have to replace this term dm over dt. When we are going to differentiate it, from here you will say the rho is constant, a is constant. What is varying actually? Only length is varying. With the time, length is varying. If length is varying, you will say rho into a into dl over dt. Okay. The variation of length with the time or distance with the time, what we call speed. What we call speed. Please reply. What is this? Speed. If it is speed, that means we can say that is equal to rho into a into v. That means dm by dt can be written also rho a into v. Okay. Now put this value in the above result, you will find the power. Again, the power is equal to half v square into rho into a into v. That means that is equal to half rho a into v cube. Please reply. Okay. Padma, you understood, beta? Anoy, Yashashwini, Zodri, Dinesh. Please reply. Everyone understanding? Up to these two results, you are understanding or not? Please reply it. Got it. Good. Now I'm moving to the next slide and you will understand how to solve this third part, the rate of flow of liquid. We are talking about rate of flow of liquid. We have to calculate. So I'm moving to the next slide. You will understand. I will use directly this result and from that we can solve it. Try to listen. Okay. This is the important part. When we are talking about third thing, we know the power is equal to, we have already calculated, that is equal to half v square into dm over dt. Okay. Now we have to change this dm by dt. But in the previous, the question is given to you rate of flow of liquid with the length. With the length is given, not with the time. Length is given, that given to you m naught kg per second. M naught kg per second. So using this data we have to convert. Okay, now listen. You will understand from it what is the dm by dt. So we know the dm by dt can be written like this: dm by dt multiplied by dl over dl. Am I right? Okay, this is dl over dl, or we can write in a very next line dm by dl. I'm just changing this denominator. You will see, and that the multiplied by here you will see, and dl over dt like this. We call in the mathematics, this is the actually chain rule, but we are concerned with the physics, so we are just changing the variables. This is dm by dl, this is dl by dt. Dl by dt we already know, that's the velocity. That means in the very next line I can say dm by dt can be written as, that is equal to dm by dl multiplied by velocity, that is the v. That means dm by dt can be converted like this. So use this result and put into the above result, you will find the power. So what does the power become? So power is equal to 1 by 2 v square. In place of dm by dt, you would put this value, this is dm by dl and multiplied by v. From it you will find dm by dl into half into v cube. This is equal to power. Got it? Please reply. Everyone? Jodhri, Padma, Yashashwini, Anoy. Okay? Please reply, everyone. You are understanding or not understanding, beta? Everyone, please reply it. You understood this problem, how to calculate this type of problem if it comes in the paper. Good. Definitely, Anoy. It's a very good question. When you find it in the paper, you will find the 2-3 question already based upon this is asked in the paper, and how to calculate this is you will find it. Okay. Now I'm moving to the next part of next small problem, one or two problem I will give you. Then we will start the new topic in the next class, and we will see the how to use the rotational mechanics, and I will give you the small topic, that is the torque, and that is also very important topic, and tomorrow's class, and we will see it. But now I will give you the one more question related to the this power. Okay, so that is the one of the problem you will find it, and that is the very important, the water pump problem. I call it water pump problem. Okay, now listen. You will say it. We call water pump problem. What is the meaning of water pump? Pump means it is lifting the water from any well or some underground tank. It is a lifting to the some height, that we are calling the water pump. For that we are using generally water pump. Okay, so water pump problem we are calling it. So there's some well, and from that I'm just lifting the water, and that can be given to you like this. I'm just making the diagram. Generally this diagram is not given in the paper, you have to draw it by yourself. Okay, this is the diagram. This is the one well is there, and from this well I'm just lifting the water. Very simple data I am giving to you, and there the one pipe is there, and from that you are lifting the water. Okay, the water is flowing from this through this pipe to the ground, and this depth is given to you. If I see this depth, I'm just showing you, you will understand. So from here to here you will see this depth is given to you, suppose h. Okay, here to here this depth is given to you h, and question is very simple. Okay, if this is given, so how much power is required? If this water is coming out, if I'm assuming it's coming very slowly, that means speed is equal to 0. If I give you the speed also, that was also added in the question, and that is also asked. So try to listen to this question if it is coming out of this pipe. Okay, so very simple thing, we have to find what is the power of pump required here. So you will see this question. It's a very simple question, we can solve it. So you will say very simple case of work done here would be how much to lift the m amount of water. Suppose if I say the m amount of water is coming out. Okay, so what you will say, mgh. That means you are lifting only mgh. So this is much is work done you are doing to lift the water. And what is the power? Power is nothing else, that is equal to dw by dt. That means we can solve very simply. You will say dm over dt. This is a mass is varying with the time, and this is the g into h, because h is constant, m is g is constant. You can find it. Okay, this is very simple. This is the power, that is the dm by dt into gh. And dm by dt can be asked in different manner. I told you how to convert in dm by dt according to the question. I'm just writing again. You can convert dm by dt according to the, you can write like this. This is r naught into kg per second also. You can write directly, or you can say rho a into v in the form, or you can write that the v into dm by dl according to the question. Dm by dl, this can be written according to the question, whatever given to you. You can put this value here and you will get the power. Okay, everyone understanding what is the problem and how to calculate it? Under this value, very simple, the gh power is equal to dm by dt into g into h. Please reply. Good. It's a very simple question, very easy question. You can find this type of all question already 1 or 2 times that is asked in a paper. You can find it very simple. Okay, I'm not putting this problem a few more things. I'm adding with this problem. I'm just making little bit difficult so that it will be good for you. If I say this water is coming out from this pipe with the some speed, that is the v. I'm just saying it. If it is coming out with the some speed v, now we have to find it. If this speed is also given to you, how to calculate? I'm adding to the next page. You will see it. Suppose it's the same water tank, and from this water tank, the liquid is lifting up. This is the one pipe is there. From this pipe, liquid is coming out. okay, and this is coming with the speed v, and this again, this from here to here, you can see the one height is given to you, that is equal to h. You can see this is the height is h. So no problem with that. We have to solve it. So what you will say, what is the work done? We have to write the work done is nothing else mgh plus half mv square, because we are increasing its potential energy as well as its kinetic energy. How much kinetic energy? Because mass is m, and with the speed is coming out, that is the v. That means we can say half mv square. Okay, this is the kinetic energy we have increased. This is a very simple work done we have written. Now using this, again we can write power. What is the power? Power is equal to dw over dt. We have to differentiate this. You will differentiate, you will find dm over dt into gh plus half into dm over dt into v square. We can write, again this is the final result. This we can write it. Everyone is understanding or not understanding? Please reply it. Okay, please reply. You are understanding this question up to here? Please reply, beta. Good. Anoy, Padma, Shalma, Yashashani, Zoology. Everyone please reply it. Then, okay. Now this question can be asked in numerical problem also. I will not take much time. I will give you just one numerical problem, then I will leave the class. Don't worry about it. I will not disturb your break time. Okay. Listen carefully. What is given to you? The speed is given to you, and suppose everything given, I am just numerical form. Suppose this is one water tank again. I am putting it, and there is one pipe is there, and from this pipe the liquid is coming out. Okay, this is the liquid up to here. There is a field. This depth is given to you here to here. This depth is given to you. How much? If you see it, this depth is suppose 10 meter. I am giving very simple data. You will understand. The liquid is coming out suppose 4 kg per second. Okay, and the speed is also given to you suppose 2 meter per second. The speed is given to you 2 meter per second, and dm by dt is given to you 4 kg per second. And question is very simple. What is the power required? So what is the power required? Everyone can solve. Power is equal to, we know this problem. So we can say it's a dm by dt into g into h. G you can take 10 meter per second square. Okay, and plus half into dm by dt into v square. Okay, now put the value, you can find it. The power is equal to beta how much? Dm by dt. Dm by dt is given to you 4. You will say 4 into 10 into 10. It's a very simple first result. 1 by 2. Dm by dt is how much? 4 into v is how much? 2. So 2 into 2. We can write it. So from here this 1 2 is removed. That would be 8. It would be how much? 400 plus 8. That means this is a 408 watt is required. It is the power. Everyone is understanding this problem, how to solve this in the paper. If it is coming in the paper in numerical form, everyone is understanding this part. Please reply. Padma, Yashashwani, Yosri, Anoy, please reply. Shalma. Good. Everyone is understanding. Very easy question I am putting it. Now I am adding one more difficulty with this question. You will find it. If I say the efficiency of the pump is only 40%. How much is efficiency? 40%. Then what is the power of the pump is required? Okay, I am just adding one more difficulty with this question. You will find it. If the efficiency of pump is 40%, find the power of pump required. Pump required. So we have to find it. How to solve this point? We have to clear. Now listen, we know efficiency is equal to P output upon P input into, okay, 100%. We have to write it. Okay, we have to write this. We are interested what is the P input. So from here you can write very clearly the P input would be P output into 100% divided by, sorry, 100% divided by, that is equal to eta. Okay, I'm just putting this, you will see from it. Okay, I'm taking this part, you will understand from it. That is equal to P output into 100% by eta. Put this value. P input would be how much, beta? P input would be equal to P output. Output we require 408. This is the output. At the end we require this power. That means 408 watt. We require it multiplied by 100%. And what are the efficiencies given to you? 40% off. So here you can put 40. So from 0, 1 0 is removed. From 4 you will divide it. That would be 102. 102 into 10, that means 1020 watt is required. This is the power of the pump is required. Then only you can lift that much amount of water with the speed of 4 meter per second. Or sorry, 2 meter per second. Understanding everyone? Please reply. This is the last question. I'm just closing the class up at this point of time, and we will see in the next class related to the torque problem and a basic idea of about the torque. Everyone is understanding? Please reply so that I can close the class. Okay, bind up the class. Okay, Padma, Yashashani, Jodhari, other people also take part in the chatting part. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think everyone has enjoyed my class. If you enjoyed, please thumb up. And if you learned anything from my class, if it has benefited you, definitely just say some positive words. So it will be good for me. And when I actually read your comments, it is giving me boost so that I can give you maximum in the next class. Please write like that. Okay, thank you so much.
Hello students, good morning. It's your KVR sir, Botany, Sri Chaitanya College, Gosala. Today we are going to discuss the topic of the numericals and particularly in respiration chapter. Clear? So these are the numerical questions that are being regularly being asked in competitive examinations, more particularly on respiration. Let us we see the first question. Oxidation of 1 mole of 1 molecule of glucose in aerobic respiration results in the production of 38 ATP. Should have to remember that earlier in a old textbook that is 36, now in the new textbook it is 38 ATP. So 38 ATP is the net gain of ATP in aerobic respiration. One complete glucose is one completely oxidized under aerobic conditions. Clear? So next question. Number of ATP produced from one pyruvic acid during conversion into acetyl coenzyme A. So one pyruvic acid will be converted into acetyl coenzyme A. Here one NAD plus is converted into NADH2. Then one it is pyruvic acid is 3C and acetyl coenzyme A is 2C. So one carbon dioxide is removed. So 2 pyruvic acid, 2 CO2, 2 NADH2, 2 acetyl coenzyme A. But here it is asked about one pyruvic acid only. One pyruvic acid means one NADH2 is equal to 3 ATP. If one NADH2 is completely oxidized through ETS, electron transport system, then one NADH2 can give rise 3 ATP. So number of ATP molecules. Here what is the important point is for the conversion of pyruvic acid into acetyl coenzyme A, NAD plus coenzyme A, thymine pyrophosphate, lipoic acid, magnesium are essentially required. So this reaction is called as a link reaction. What do you call it as? Link reaction. Link reaction. Where exactly the link reaction takes place? So this is the inner mitochondrial membrane invaginations. The space between two membranes, outer membrane, this is inner membrane, this is the space, is called as perichondrial space. Perichondrial space, the Krebs cycle link reaction takes place in the perichondrial space. This is the perichondrial space. So 3 ATP is the correct answer. Next question is number of decarboxylations in the cytoplasm into mitochondrial matrix. Number of decarboxylation in cytoplasm and mitochondrial matrix. So you know very well, link reaction, 2 pyruvic acids are converted into 2 acetyl coenzyme A. So here one decarboxylation, 2 pyruvic acid, 2 CO2 will come out. So what do you call it as? Link reaction. Link reaction. So if you consider this is mitochondria, so this is the matrix. In matrix, acetyl coenzyme A is 2C is merged with oxaloacetic acid. Condensation reaction. This is results into citric acid. Citric acid is 6C. 6C molecule will convert into alpha ketoglutaric acid by removing one carbon dioxide. This is 5C. Alpha keto is glutaric succinyl coenzyme A. This is 4C. That means this is one decarboxylation. So observe here, 2 acetyl coenzyme A, 2 CO2, 2 CO2. In the mitochondrial matrix, 2CO2, 2CO2, 4CO2. In the perichondrial space, 2CO2. Totally 6 CO2 decarboxylations. The total decarboxylations are 6. So 2 decarboxylations in the perichondrial space and 4 decarboxylations in the mitochondrial matrix. So my answer is there is no decarboxylation in cytoplasm, but in mitochondrial matrix would have in matrix means it is 4, it mitochondria, so you don't have that kind of option. So I have taken 6. If it is specifically mentioned matrix, then it is 4. 0:4 option is not there. So that is why we have to go for mitochondria. Then it will be 6. Then the first answer is correct. Are you getting me? Okay. 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 Abhiram, are you getting me? Show me the thumb symbol. Over. Next, number of ATP molecules formed. Number of ATP molecules formed during aerobic respiration in breakdown of one glucose molecules via SLP. So, students, first we have to understand what is SLP. What is SLP? Substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation. During glycolysis, there is a 7th reaction. Phosphoenol pyruvic acid is converted into pyruvic acid. This is 10th reaction. Here ATP is produced. 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid is converted into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Here also 1 ATP is produced. So production of ATP, we know in case of chloroplast and mitochondria, production of ATP in case of chloroplast, it is photophosphorylation. In mitochondria, it is oxidative phosphorylation. In mitochondria, oxidative phosphorylation. Was it clear? So that requires chemiosmotic theory. Chemiosmotic theory. Proposed by Peter Mitchell. Chemiosmotic theory proposed by Peter Mitchell. Apart from chemiosmotic theory, if one substrate is converted into another substrate, if there is a synthesis of ATP, then this is called a substrate level phosphorylation. So here 7th reaction and 10th reaction for one pyruvic acid, another pyruvic acid, because glucose produces 2 pyruvic acid. So here 2 ATP and it is 2 ATP. Total 4 ATP are produced by SLP in glycolysis. In Krebs cycle, when succinyl coenzyme A is converted into succinic acid, here one GTP via GTP through ATP is produced. 1 acetyl coenzyme A, 1 ATP. 2 acetyl coenzymes, because 2 pyruvic acids, 2 acetyl coenzymes, 2 ATP will be produced. So totally 4 SLP glycolysis. Krebs cycle SLP 2. Total SLP 6 ATP will be produced through substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation means there is no need of membrane, there is no need of proton, there is no need of proton pump, there is no need of proton gradient. Directly, if one substrate is converted into other substrate, then ATP is produced. So number of ATP molecule formed during aerobic respiration by the breakdown of one glucose molecule via SLP will be 6 ATP. Are you getting me, students? Are you getting me? There are 4 SLPs in glycolysis and 2 SLPs in Krebs cycle. So that total 6 SLPs are there. So that 6 ATP will be produced. Clear? Next question is let us see. Aerobic respiration is how many times useful than anaerobic respiration? No doubt, students, you know very well aerobic respiration is efficient than anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is efficient than anaerobic respiration. So anaerobic respiration net gain of ATP is equal to 2. Aerobic respiration net gain of ATP (38). So if I take 2 is equal to A, 38 is equal to B. So 38 is equal to B. How many times? So can you now understand aerobic respiration how many times useful than anaerobic respiration? Can you answer this question, beta? 2, this is 38. Now that is 19 times. 19 times aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is 19 times efficient than anaerobic respiration. Was it clear? Shall I go for the next question? Students, do you have any doubts? Please text me. Clear? So how many ATP molecules could be maximally generated by 1 mole of glucose in anaerobic respiration? Just now I discussed in glycolysis. 1 glucose is converted into 2 pyruvic acids. Just now I told you 4 SLP. There are 4 SLP. So 4 ATP is synthesized. But in 1 and 3 reaction number 1 and reaction number 3. Reaction number 1 is glucose turned to glucose 6-phosphate. Reaction number 3 is fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. In this reactions ATP is required. So 2 ATP is required. So net gain of ATP is 2 ATP only. So after that there is no further reactions like aerobic respiration. In anaerobic respiration, the only common pathway for aerobic and anaerobic respiration is glycolysis. So glycolysis, whatever ATP is coming as a net gain of ATP, that is the net gain of anaerobic respiration. So what is the, if you are asked about, so how many ATP molecules could be maximally generated from 1 molecule of glucose in anaerobic respiration, then answer will be 2 ATP. Beta, you should have to remember that. Even anaerobic respiration or fermentation, net gain of ATP is always 2 ATP only. In glycolysis 4 ATP is synthesized, but only 2 ATP will be utilized. Okay students, shall we go for the next slide? Substrate level ATP molecules during complete oxidation of 1 mole of glucose in Krebs cycle. Beta, one glucose is converted into two pyruvic acids. So two pyruvic acids are converted into acetyl coenzyme A. Two acetyl coenzyme. From here onwards, we start Krebs cycle. So two acetyl coenzymes on conversion of succinyl coenzyme A into succinic acid. Here 2 moles and 2 ATP will be produced. Not directly, first GTP is produced. In textbook it is clearly written that first GTP is synthesized, then GTP is converted into ATP. So through SLP 2 ATP is produced. Here students, can you understand, one substrate is converting into other substrate, then ATP is produced. Hence it is called as direct ATP synthesis. Direct ATP synthesis, or we call it as substrate level phosphorylation. Then answer will be 2 ATP. Was it clear, students? Was it clear? Shall we go for the next slide? The number of ATP molecules produced. Number of ATP molecules produced from one Krebs cycle are. So one Krebs cycle starts with, I'll take another color. Acetyl coenzyme merged with oxaloacetic acid 4C and 2C. It is first converted into citric acid. Citric acid now converted into cis-aconitic acid. Cis-aconitic acid is converted into isocitric acid. Isocitric acid, oxalosuccinic acid. Oxalosuccinic acid, alpha ketoglutaric acid. Alpha ketoglutaric acid, succinyl coenzyme A. Succinyl coenzyme A is converted into succinic acid. Succinic acid to fumaric acid. Fumaric acid to malic acid. Malic acid to oxaloacetic acid. Was it clear? Was it clear, beta? Was it clear? This is reaction number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. That is again 10-step reaction. That's again 10-step reaction. So what is the question now? The number of ATP molecule produced from one Krebs cycle. Beta, here in the 6th reaction, one NAD plus is converted into NADH2. In the 4th reaction, NAD plus is converted into NADH2. In the 8th reaction, FAD is converted into FADH2. In the 10th reaction, again NAD plus is converted into NADH2. Clear? What is the, in the 7th reaction, one ATP is resulted. In the 7th reaction, one ATP is resulted as a net gain. As a net gain. So what you can understand from one Krebs cycle is, so you can have fourth reaction, sixth reaction, eighth reaction, 10th reactions are oxidation reactions. In the fourth reaction NADH2, sixth reaction NADH2, eighth reaction FADH2, 10th reaction NADH2. Then 3 NADH2, 1 FADH2, 1 SLP. Clear? This is the product of Krebs cycle. Product of Krebs cycle. Now you can read the question again. The number of ATP molecule produced from one Krebs cycle are, count it, 3 NADH2. 3 NADH2 means that 1 NADH2 is equal to 3 ATP. So 3 3s are 9 ATP. 1 FADH2 2 ATP. 1 SLP 1 ATP. So total 9 plus 1 10, 10 plus 2 12. 12 ATP is net gain. 12 ATP is net gain. Students, are you getting me? Are you getting the correct answer? Would you like to ask me any questions? Please respond. Please respond. Are you getting me? There is 3 NADH2, 1 FADH2 and 1 SLP as a net gain. One SLP as a net gain. So that the total will be 12 ATP. This is the 12 ATP is the correct answer. Third option. Was it clear? Students, was it clear? Shall I go next slide? Glycolysis accounts how much percentage of glycolysis accounts how much percentage of total energy released from glucose? Nothing but 5%. Glycolysis accounts how much percentage of the energy released. And how you can understand it is in anaerobic respiration 2 ATP, in aerobic respiration 38 ATP. If you see the calculation part, and the calculation part, (5.2%). Are you getting me? Net gain of ATP in anaerobic respiration is 2, in aerobic respiration is 38. So glycolysis is common for both aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So that the question, if you read the question carefully, glycolysis accounts how much percentage of total energy released from glucose. So the answer will be 5%. Was it clear? Was it clear? Students, please respond. Are you getting this? Shall I go for the next slide? Shall I go for the next slide? Are you getting me? Next question. Find the ratio of ATP generated via substrate level phosphorylation and oxidative phosphorylation in most of eukaryotes. Most of the eukaryotes. So you can have a look here. Already I told you in glycolysis 4 SLP, in Krebs cycle that is 2 SLP, total is 6 SLP, out of which 6 SLP. Was it clear? So from the glycolysis Krebs cycle and link reaction, 10 NADH2 into 3, because 1 NADH2 is equal to 3 ATP, 10 NADH2, 30 ATP, 2 FADH2 into 2, 2 2s are 4 ATP. Through electron transport system, how many ATP are produced? How many ATP are produced? ETS 34 ATP on oxidation of 10 NADH2 2 FADH2, 10 NADH2 2 FADH2, 10 NADH2 into 3 is equal to 30, 2 FADH2 into 2 is equal to 4, so 30 plus 4, 34. Beta, through SLP, how many ATP you got? 6 ATP. So 34 ATP from ETS, 6 ATP from SLP, total is, gross gain is 40 ATP. So minus 2 ATP, I told you earlier, in glycolysis, there is an expenditure of 2 ATP at 1 and 3 reaction. So this is 38 ATP as a net. But the question asked here is, find the ratio of ATP generated via substrate level phosphorylation is 6. And oxidative phosphorylation in most of the eukaryotics, through oxidative phosphorylation we got 34. So 6 is to 34 is the correct answer. 6 is to 34 is the correct answer. So are you getting me? Did you got the answer? So here through ETS 10 NADH2 are oxidized to 10 NADH2, each NADH2 yield 3 ATP, 10 NADH2 yield 30 ATP, 2 FADH2 4 ATP, total 34 ATP are produced through ETS. ETS means electron transport system. Was it clear? 6 ATP is produced through SLP. What is the ratio between ATP produced through SLP 6 and oxidative phosphorylation 34? The answer will be the third option. Was it clear? Was it clear? Shall we go for the next question? Shall we go for the next question? Have a look here. Number of ATP molecules produced from one turn of Krebs cycle from acetyl coenzyme A. This question resembles earlier question. Here you can understand one acetyl coenzyme A can yield 3 NADH2, 1 FADH2, 1 SLP. Was it clear? Students, was it clear? So 1 acetyl coenzyme A is completely oxidized. 1 acetyl coenzyme is completely oxidized. It will give 3 NADH2, 1 FADH2, 1 SLP. SLP nothing but 1 ATP. Clear? 3 NADH2 can give rise 9 ATP. 1 FADH2 give rise 2 ATP. And 1 SLP give rise 1 ATP. Total it is 12 ATP is produced on oxidation of 12 ATP is produced on oxidation of 1 acetyl coenzyme A. 1 acetyl coenzyme A. Students, was it clear? On 4th reaction, 6th reaction, 10th reaction, NADH2 is synthesized. 8th reaction, FADH2 is synthesized. The same question here, the number of ATP molecules produced from one Krebs cycle. It is the question. There, our next question is number of ATP molecule produced from one turn of Krebs cycle from one acetyl coenzyme A will be 12. Will be 12. but answer will be somewhat different. If the question is like this, 1H tail coenzyme A via ETS. If it is the question like this, then your answer will be 11. You should not to take one SLP of 7th reaction. So here 3 NADH2 you can take, 1 FADH2 you can take. 3 NADH2 can yield 9 ATP, 1 FADH2 can yield 2 ATP. 9 plus 2 is 11 only. So this is question dependent answer. Are you getting me? This is question dependent answer. So here number of ATP produced from one turn of Krebs cycle from one acetyl coenzyme A is 12. It is okay. If the question is like this via ETS, then you should not to consider, you should not to take the ATP that is produced by SLP. So 3 NADH2 is equal to 3 3s are 9 ATP, 1 FADH2, 2 ATP, that is 11 ATP. Answer. When the question is via ETS only, you should not to consider the ATP of SLP. Then, so if the question is direct, 1 acetyl coenzyme A or 1 Krebs cycle, then your answer will be 12. Was it clear, students? Are you getting me? Next slide will go. Number of ATP molecules produced from one pyruvic acid during conservation into one acetyl coenzyme A. So already I think we have discussed it. If one pyruvic acid is converted into one acetyl coenzyme A. One pyruvic acid is converted into one acetyl coenzyme A. There is a synthesis of NAD plus is converted into NADH2. NAD plus is converted into NADH2. So as usual, one NADH2 is equal to 3 ATP. 1 NADH2 is equal to 3 ATP. So answer will be 3. What is the question asked here? It is the number of ATP produced from one pyruvic acid during conversion into acetyl coenzyme A. Was it clear? If one pyruvic acid, so I told you this reaction is called as link reaction. Students, you know very well where do the link reaction takes place. Perichondrial space. In perichondrial space, link reaction takes place. So if it is asked like one glucose, then answer will be 2 pyruvic acid, 2 acetyl coenzyme A, 2 NADH2. Then answer will be 2 into 3. 2 3s are 6 ATP will be answer. If the question changes, answer also changes. If earlier he asked for only one pyruvic acid, if he asking about one glucose, then it will be 6 ATP in the link reaction. Clear? Shall we go next slide? Number of glucose molecules. Number of glucose molecules have to be utilized in anaerobic respiration to produce 38 ATP. Students, can you answer this question? Can you answer this question? So anaerobic respiration, generally in anaerobic respiration, or alcohol fermentation, net gain of ATP is 2. Alcohol fermentation, net gain of ATP is 2. Clear? Then in aerobic respiration, net gain of ATP is 38. In aerobic respiration, net gain of ATP is 38. So I told you, so net gain of ATP in anaerobic respiration is A, in aerobic respiration is B. Okay, then students please respond. Are you getting me? So please show your thumb symbol if you are getting. If you have any other doubts, please text me. Students, please respond me. Okay, are you getting me? What will be the correct answer? 18 is the correct answer. So 18 times 18 glucose molecules are required. Sorry. One glucose molecules, anaerobic respiration, 2 ATP. If you want to have 38 ATP, there is no answer in this question. The correct answer will be 19. 19 into 2 is equal to 38. So correct answer is 19. Correct answer is 19. Are you getting me? If you have any doubts, please text me fast. We do have very less time. Another 5 minutes is there. So I again repeat the question again. So number of glucose molecules required. If one glucose molecule undergone anaerobic respiration, you will have 2 ATP only. Then the question being asked, number of glucose molecules have to be utilized in anaerobic respiration to produce 38 ATP. Then by 2 it is equal to 19 glucose molecules are required. Was it clear? Was it clear? Next question. Number of oxygen atoms required in aerobic respiration of one pyruvic acid. One pyruvic acid. So every time there is 10 NADH2, 2 FADH2 are synthesized in total overall glycolysis link reaction Krebs cycle. Was it clear? So 1 NADH2 will give rise to H plus 2E minus plus this will be oxidized. This is oxidized. NADH2 is oxidized to 2H plus 2 protons, 2 electrons and NAD plus. Here the question is, so overall these 2 electrons. So from 1 NAD this total I will take 12 reduced coenzymes. NADH2 or FADH2 are known as reduced coenzymes. Clear? 12 reduced coenzyme. For one glucose there is 2 pyruvic acid, then 12 reduced coenzymes. Here it is 6 reduced coenzymes. Each reduced coenzyme can release 2 electrons. The final terminal electron acceptor is oxygen, you know very well. 2H plus 2 electrons plus half O2 is equal to water. Was it clear? So now 6 atoms, oxygen atoms are essentially required for one pyruvic acid completely oxidized. Here the best option will be the 5. So could you now understand? So one reduced coenzyme can give rise 2 electrons. For 2 electrons it requires half O2. 2 electrons it requires half O2. There are 12 reduced coenzymes. 12 half O2s are required. That is nothing but 6 O2. Clear? Let us we go for the next question. How many ATP molecules could be maximally generated from one molecule of glucose if complete oxidation of one molecule of glucose to CO2 and H2O that yields 686 kilocalories if ATP is equal to 12 kilocalories? Very good, beta, very good question. So if 1 ATP is equal to 12 kilocalories, then 686 kilocalories, 686 kilocalories by 12 is equal to 57. This is the answer. How many ATP molecules will be generated from one molecule of glucose if the complete oxidation of one molecule of glucose to CO2 and H2O yields 686 kilocalories if each ATP is 12 kilocalories? Then answer will be 57. So this is all about today's lesson of numericals in respiration, and tomorrow we will go with a new part of biology which make you interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you one and all.
Good morning. How are you all doing? Today we like to go into the details of the cockroach. because most of the questions coming in NCERT NEET, okay, they will be about the morphology and also about the various physiological functions like digestion, respiration and circulation. Okay. So, we try to go in detail about this Periplaneta americana. This actually is not native of India, as the name indicate. The native species will be including Blatta orientalis and Blatta germanica. They are our native species. This is an exotic species, but it multiplied in such a large number, it is seen almost in all households, isn't it? You can see almost all houses you will find this cockroach. So, in this animal we need to focus on the body regions. Body is divisible into three regions being called as head region, thorax and abdomen. What are these regions being called as? The other day I was discussing about the phylum Arthropoda. I told you in arthropod the body is divided into the functional regions, right? And the process is named as tagmosis, and each region is called as one tagma. This is one functional region, head. This is another functional region called thorax, and abdomen is one functional region which can be called as a tagma. So, head in cockroach is formed by the fusion of 6 segments. Thorax is formed by 3 segments and abdomen is having 10 segments. Okay, head is consisting of 6 segments. All these 6 they get fused, so that you will find the skeletal structure, we call it as a capsule. For example, say this is the body of the cockroach, present like this. The head is oriented longitudinal axis to the longitudinal axis. Head is present right angles. Head is present right angles to the longitudinal axis of the body. That is why head in cockroach can be called as hypognathous. This is, the term is additional, but you have the sentence in NCERT that says head is present right angles to the longitudinal axis of the body, which is named as hypognathous head. The word literally also means, hypo means below or downward, na means jaws. So, jaws means here mouth parts. Mouth parts are directed downwards. Mouth part, they get directed downward, that is why it is also named as hypognathous. Okay. So, all these 6 plates, cockroach, as you know, it has the skeleton present in the form of plates which are called as sclerites, right. All these 6 plates, they get fused so that it forms a head capsule. Okay. Head in cockroach is quite flexible. It is quite flexible and it is able to move in almost all directions, because this is attached to the thorax with the help of a short neck. Neck is also referred to as cervicum. So because of the short neck, you will find the head becomes quite flexible. So neck is not seen dorsally. The dorsally you will find the head is concealed. Okay, head in cockroach, this is also you need to remember. Head in cockroach is concealed. What do you mean by concealed? Concealed means it is hidden or it is not seen. Okay, it is not seen because the prothorax will be extending anteriorly. The next part called thorax, this is being covered by the plate called as the pronotum. That pronotum extends anteriorly, covering the head dorsally. So head cannot be seen directly from the dorsal side. It is concealed. Okay, it is concealed by the structure named as pronotum, which is the dorsal plate of the first segment in thorax called prothorax. Okay. So head is roughly triangular in structure. The shape is triangular in shape, and head, as you know, it contains a pair of compound eyes which are present on the dorsolateral sides of the head. Head lies on dorsolateral sides of the head. Right? Beside compound eyes, cockroach contains a pair of antennae. Antennae are also referred to as feelers. Antennae, they are also referred to as the feelers. These feelers will be helping the animal in sensing the environment, or it will be helping in finding out the changes around the animal. It can sense the changes where it is acting as tactile structure and it also acts as olfactory. Tactile means the sense of touch. Olfactory means, as you know, it is sense of smell. Cockroach can detect the sense of touch with the help of those pair of antennae, the long, the elongated thread-like structures which will be moving, right? They are the antennae which are detecting the sense of touch, and it also can detect the sense of smell, which are sensory in nature. Cockroach also has simple eyes. In front of the compound eyes, the head is provided with a pair of simple eyes. Simple eyes are named as ocelli. They are also called fenestrae. You need to get all the three names. In front of the antennae, cockroach has a pair of simple eyes, ocelli or fenestrae. They do not form images, but they help in detecting light intensity. Cockroach is able to detect the light intensity with the help of these simple eyes. They don't form any image. Images are formed by compound eyes. Okay? And hanging from the lower side of the head, you will find the mouth parts, right? Mouth parts in cockroach are named as, or they belong to the type being called as biting and chewing type. In cockroach, the mouth parts, they are biting and chewing type of mouth parts, which are considered as primitive. The mouth parts are considered as primitive because this type of mouth parts are seen in the larval stages, and adult animals will have a different type of mouth part. For example, if you take a butterfly, yeah, you will have mandibles, maxillae, labrum, labium, right? Good. So, this where you have mandibles being stronger is referred to as biting and chewing type. Okay. So, this is, say for example, in the larva like caterpillar has biting and chewing type, adult animal is the butterfly. So, butterfly has siphoning type of mouth parts. Similarly, the larva of mosquito, what do we call larva of mosquito? Larva of mosquito is called regular. Larva of housefly is called maggot, right? So, these larval forms, they have the type of mouth parts called biting and chewing type, but adult animal has a different type of mouth parts. So, insect larvae, they generally have this type of mouth parts, adults will be having a different type. That is how it is referred to as the primitive type of mouth parts. Okay. So, you should remember the names and also the diagrammatic idea about the animal you should remember. Labrum is referred to as upper lip, right? This is single. Cockroach has a pair of maxilla, then a pair of mandibles, mandibles also a pair, followed by the labium or the lower lip. Upper lip is labrum, lower lip is labium, in between you will have mandibles and maxilla. So, how many structures? We have 4 structures are being appearing here, isn't it? So, in the middle of this you will find there is a rod like structure or cylindrical structure called hypopharynx, which is also referred to as the tongue, right? So, hypopharynx actually will divide the cavity in front of the mouth called preoral cavity into the anterior cibarium and posterior salivarium. That is not required. So, in the middle of these mouth parts you will have the cylindrical structure called hypopharynx or tongue is present. This tongue or hypopharynx, this will carry salivary duct. Tongue carries salivary duct so that when the food material is broken down with the help of the strong mandible that will cut the food, it gets mixed with the saliva, and the saliva is brought by the salivary duct that is lying at the base of hypopharynx. Okay. So, these are the mouth parts which are coming under biting and chewing type. Upper lip is labium, isn't it? Upper lip is labium. Is it labium or labrum? Upper lip is labrum. Are you following? Labrum is the upper lip, right? Lower lip is labium. So we may be confused related to these two names, right? So if you have confusion, try to remember only one, right? Try to get one, automatically you will be able to remember the other one. So you can have labrum as the upper lip, right? Naturally you can remember the other one easily. So these are the structures associated with the region called as the head region in cockroach. The second region called as thorax. Thorax is made up of three segments which are named as prothoracic segment, mesothorax and metathorax. First segment is called prothorax, second is called mesothorax, third is called metathorax. Right? Prothorax, this is the segment or the region which will be covered by a tergum called as pronotum. Prothorax is covered dorsally by a plate named as the pronotum. So speciality of pronotum is this is the largest sclerite. In cockroach, the skeleton is present in the form of plates. It's not single piece exoskeleton. Okay, skeleton as we discussed in arthropoda, right? Arthropod, they have chitinous exoskeleton, isn't it? So that skeleton allowed them to stay or survive in the different habitats. So that skeleton is not one piece; it is made up of smaller plates. Plates called sclerites. The largest sclerite in cockroach is the pronotum. And prothorax is without wings. Wings are absent in this segment. First pair of wings, they don't come from prothorax, they come from mesothorax. This also need to be remembered. Right? First pair of wing does not come from the first segment, it comes from second thoracic segment called mesothorax. Along with this, they also are without spiracles. Cockroach has a respiratory system called tracheal system formed by the long branch tubes called trachea. These trachea will be opening outside through the small apertures called spiracles or stigmata. Right? So cockroach has 10 pairs of spiracles. 2 will be there in thorax called 1 pair in mesothorax, 1 pair in metathorax, rest of the 8 will be there in abdomen. Okay? So prothorax is without wings and prothorax is without spiracles. Both of them are absent. Mesothorax is the middle thoracic segment, and this segment has first pair of wing, first pair of wings are present in mesothoracic segment. These wings are very thick in nature, they are leathery, opaque, and they are named as tegmina. this pair of wings, they are named as tegmina. This pair, it doesn't help the animal in flight. It will be helping in covering the body and it will be protecting second pair of wings. Right? First pair of wings, they don't help in the flight or they don't help in flying. It will be helping in protecting or covering the body, and it also will be able to protect or cover the second pair of wings, that is tegmina. Second pair of wings are present in metathorax. These wings, they are thin, membranous, and they help in flight. Okay, second pair of wings are present in metathorax. Okay, so these wings actually help the animal in flight. So they get folded when it is resting. They get folded just like a paper fan. Like we make paper fan with waste paper. We fold zigzag, no? So like that, the second pair of wing get folded and it is covered and protected by first pair called tegmina. So you should remember that first pair does not lie in prothorax, first pair lies in mesothorax, second pair lies in the metathorax, or first pair can be called as the forewings, second pair can be called as the hindwings. FORE, fore means that comes first. Right? So forewings are present in mesothorax, hind wings are present in metathorax. And all the three segments, they have legs. All the three segments, that is prothorax will have one pair of leg, mesothorax will have one pair of legs, and metathorax also has one pair of legs. Right? So cockroach is provided with three pairs of legs, or for that matter, three pairs of legs is the character of insecta. Three pairs of legs is the character of insecta. That's why insecta is also named as hexapoda. Insecta is also called hexapoda. As you know, hexa means 6. Mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, hepta, octa, nona, deca, no? So hexapoda means they have 6 legs or 3 pairs of legs. Right? So each thoracic segment will have one pair of legs attached to it. That's about the thorax, the region having 3 segments, which is most muscular because it will be helping in the locomotion of the animal, having legs as well as wings. And the third region is abdominal region. Abdomen is made up of 10 segments. Right? So as I said, cockroach skeleton is not one piece, it is made up of several plates, and we name these plates. The dorsal plate is called as tergum or the tergite. Ventral plate is called sternum or sternite. Lateral plates are called as pleurites or pleura. You should remember these names. This is the dorsal plate. Dorsal plate can be called as a tergite or tergum. The ventral plate, this is called as sternite or sternum, and the lateral plates which will be covering the body from sides is called pleura or pleurite. Okay, tergite or tergum, sternite or sternum, and the lateral they are called as the pleurites or the pleura. So segments are having this exoskeleton, and these plates, they are joined by, what is the name of the plates? Plates are named as sclerites, isn't it? So these are joined by a flexible membrane or a thin membrane that provides flexibility called as orthorodial membrane. The membrane is called orthorodial. Arthropoda, right? Arthropoda, so it is orthorodial. Or you can call this also as articular membrane. The plates or the sclerites are joined by a thin membrane that provides flexibility called as arthorodial or arthropoda phylum name. So it comes as arthorodial, or articulation means joining. Yeah, right, good. Right? It will be articulating or joining. That's why it is also called articular membrane. Good. Abdomen in cockroach, right? As I said, they have 10 segments. Interestingly, they have 10 terga, but there are only 9 sterna. 10th sternum is absent in both sexes. In both male and female, right, the dorsal part is covered by stergum, ventral part, last segment, it does not have sterna. So in both male and female there will be 10 terga, but there will be only 9 sterna. Is it okay? Then cockroach has dimorphism, or it shows sexual dimorphism. Cockroach shows sexual dimorphism. That means sexually, di means to, morphic means forms. So sexually there is male form and female form separate, and you can identify the organisms externally as male or female. So if you can identify the animal externally as male and female, then we say the organism exhibits dimorphism, sexual dimorphism, right? So the dimorphic characters where a male cockroach has a pair of anal styles. Male cockroach has a pair of anal styles, or they can also be called as caudal styles. Male cockroach has a pair of anal styles or caudal styles. So these are the structures which are unjointed. Caudal styles or anal styles are unjointed, they do not have joints, and they arise from 9th sternum. This is the additional information, but you can remember easily. The lateral structures called as anal style, they will be coming from ninth sternum, present only in males, absent in female. This is one character. Second one is males. Males have wings longer than abdomen. In case of the males, you will find the wings are longer than abdomen. For example, say you have abdomen being present extending up to this region, right? So, wings in the male animal, they will be going beyond abdomen. They are not confined to abdomen itself, they will be moving slightly beyond abdomen. Whereas in female, they remain up to the abdomen. That is what is going beyond abdomen or longer than abdomen in case of male. So, these two are the dimorphic characters in case of cockroach, where they are present in male, absent in female. Okay. And abdomen in both male and female, they have structures named as anal cerci, which are coming from the 10th tergum in both male and females. In both male and female, you will find a pair of structures named as anal cerci or wing present, which are jointed structures. A pair of jointed structures which are 15 jointed named as anal cerci. Cercus is singular, cerci is plural. Anal cerci are present in both male and female. These structures are present in both male and female cockroaches, right? And they are jointed, they are 15 jointed structures, small joints will be seen, okay, which are there in both male and female. But male has these two characters additionally. So, these are the characters you need to remember related to the region called as abdominal region in the cockroach, right. So, the segments which are 10, but there are only 9 sterna. And you also have dimorphism related to the structure called as the genital pouch or brood pouch. That is also different in male and female cockroaches. Abdomen, it contains brood pouch or genital pouch. This pouch is different in female and males. In case of female, the brood pouch is formed by 7th, 8th and 9th sternum. 7th sternum, 8th sternum and 9th sternum together will form the brood pouch. 7th sternum is described there. This is present as a pair of plates. 7th sternum is present as a pair of gynovalvular plates. seventh sternum is present in the form of a pair of plates being called as gynovalvular plates, which are present in the form of or in the shape of a boat. They are boat shaped structures, right? And this brood pouch in female is divided into two chambers called anterior and posterior chambers. In female, the brood pouch is divided into two chambers, the anterior and posterior. Anterior chamber is named as gynatrium, that is the additional. You may not have to remember it. Anterior chamber is the region where you will find female genital aperture opens here. Female genital aperture or female gonopore opens into anterior chamber. Spermatheca opens into anterior chamber, and collateral gland also opens into anterior chamber. All these three structures, they open in anterior chamber. These three structures also you should remember. The anterior chamber in the female brood pouch has female genital aperture or the female gonopore opening into it. A pair of spermatheca also will open, and a pair of glands called collateral glands also will open into anterior chamber. Okay? And anterior chamber is also the region where fertilization takes place, also in the region. In this region, fertilization takes place. So, you have a lot of activities going on in this anterior chamber, which can be called as the gynatrium. Posterior chamber is also called brood chamber, the oothecal chamber, where ootheca is formed here. Ootheca or egg case formation takes place in posterior chamber. After the fertilization, as you know, you will find the fertilized eggs are covered by a chitinous covering, protective covering, being named as egg case or ootheca. So, that ootheca formation takes place in the posterior chamber or oothecal chamber, but otherwise most of the activities are there in anterior chamber. So, this is the brood pouch in female cockroach, whereas in case of the male cockroach it is somewhat different. In male cockroach, the brood pouch is formed by both male and female, terga and sterna. In case of the male cockroach, the genital pouch is formed by, on the dorsal side, 9th and 10th tergum will be covering it, and ventrally 9th sternum will be covering it. Genital pouch or the brood pouch is different in male cockroach and female cockroach. In female, it is formed by the three sterna called 7th, 8th and 9th sterna will form. There is no role of tergum. But in male cockroach, you have the contribution of both terga and sternum, the dorsal plate as well as ventral plate. 9th and 10th will be forming the dorsal part of the brood pouch. Ventrally, this is being lined by the 9th sternum. Okay. So that is the variation or the differences between male and female cockroaches. And the cockroaches, they have external genitalia, the male and female cockroaches. They have structures helping in reproduction named as external genitalia. So in cockroach we call them as gonapophysis. External genitalia in cockroach we name them as gonapophysis. Gonapophysis are also again different in male and female cockroaches. So gonapophysis in male has 3 pairs of gonapophysis. Male cockroach, I'm sorry, it's female. Male has 3 gonapophysis named as a right, left and ventral. In male, we call these gonapophysis, only in male, we can call them as phallomeres, not in female. In males, gonapophysis can be called as phallomeres. So male cockroach has a right phallomere, male cockroach has a left phallomere, male cockroach has ventral phallomere. Okay, so these 3, they are completely different. Each one is having a different structure. So that's why we call them as asymmetrical. Phallomeres are asymmetrical. Okay, so for example, if you take the phallomere like left phallomere, this is only to have a rough idea. You don't have to get the things. Diagrammatically, you don't have to draw them, but this diagram is labeled in the external characters. Left phallomere right, it has structures named as the titillator, it has structures named as pseudopenis, it has aspirate lobe and equitolus lobe, which are there in left phallomere. Right phallomere this is the right phallomere, and ventral phallomere. Ventral phallomere receives ejaculatory duct. And it has the male gonopore present on it. So in the textbook, that is NCERT book, you have left phalangear parts are being labeled. Okay, so this is left phalangear, right phalangear and ventral phalangear. Each one will have a different structure. That's why they are referred to as asymmetrical structures. They are not symmetrical. This is the case in male cockroach. When it comes to female, the gonapophyses are symmetrical. Female cockroach has the gonapophyses which are 3 pairs, and they will be helping in positioning the eggs or placing the eggs in the brood chamber and in the formation of the egg case. That's why they act like ovipositors or ovidepositors. Ova means the eggs. So eggs are being placed or eggs are being deposited with the help of the 3 pairs of gonapophyses in female cockroach. Male cockroach has 3 gonapophyses which are asymmetrical because they have different structure. Right? So this is what are the details which you should remember in the external morphology of the cockroach. All this is related to NCERT. Some of the terms, like for example, as I said, the anterior chamber is called gynatrium, oothecal chamber. Such names may not be asked, but the structures related to what I have given here, they are all important. Okay? Right? Any queries? Okay, right? Then we try to elaborate. If you have any doubts, you can put forward. We go in detail about some of these things which are somewhat the children may be feeling it difficult, like the system called circulation, reproduction, right? So we'll discuss about them along with the respiration. Respiration is not discussed much in the book, but you are expected to have some idea related to the terms, right? Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.